It can seem like it takes a lot of luck for an Etsy store to become successful. But if you look closely, these popular shops share certain traits that keep them on top. Hi, I'm Talish at Printify, and we've gathered a group of experts to review some of the top-selling stores on Etsy. And together, we're going to take a look at what helps them stand out and sell big. And if you want to sell big, subscribe to Printify for more content on Print on Demand. Sitting right at the top of Etsy's top seller list is our first store, CaitlynMinimalist. It offers personalized jewelry and has made over 1.8 million sales so far. And here to analyze some of the factors keeping this store on top is Leah. She is a print-on-demand mentor and an e-commerce extraordinaire. Hey, Leah.
Hi, Talish. Thank you for having me today. I am happy to help you.
So let's talk about first impressions. What jumped out at you when you opened up this store?
Oh, I have to say the photos. They are just absolutely beautiful. You can tell they're so just curated and clean and really well put together. You know, she's CaitlynMinimalist, and those photos just speak that perfectly.
So this store pays a lot of attention to detail, from the product listings to the sidebar catalog, doesn't it?
Yeah, the sidebar she organized really, really nicely. She's got editor's picks for her and even for him, so a little bit of something for everyone. She's kind of split it up into ready-to-ship products as well as custom-made. So whether you're at her store for the first time, you can really just get an overview of everything she has, or if you're a returning customer, you can go right to what you want. And then her product listings, you'll see in her product titles, she uses bullet points to kind of separate and clean up the title a little bit. I think it looks so crisp, it's so easy to read. A lot of people use commas, and that just kind of clutters it a little bit more in my opinion. And then the description, it's super detailed without being super long. You go down, she's got links to her about page, her policies, and of course her social media. So she just did a really nice job putting everything together in a clean, simple way.
So is there an element to CaitlynMinimalist that isn't immediately obvious but adds to the experience?
Yes, so there are actually two things that I want to mention. First is her about section, and again, her pictures just totally grabbed my attention. She shows a couple pictures of the process of her making the jewelry, right? And right away to me, that's like, oh, that's really cool. It makes me intrigued to want to read more. And then just by reading the first few sentences of her story, you know, I can tell that she's genuinely passionate about it. She's got a little backstory to it. And then she goes on to kind of talk about the present, you know, what they're offering right now, and then where they want to take the shop in the future. So just a really nicely put together story. And then the second thing is her policies. She's got a couple details in there that I caught that I really liked. And the first one was one that I think all print-on-demand merchants who offer express shipping should say, is that expedited shipping does not mean increased production or less production time. So that's really important to mention. She mentioned that. That was a great detail. The next one was that she said she insures all her packages. As a buyer, that's just really reassuring and comforting. I feel safe buying from her. It's kind of just a little trust thing. And then lastly, she added kind of one quick note at the very end about imitator shops. She just mentions that CaitlynMinimalist has no affiliations with any other shops and that they're kind of the true original ones. So most customers can differentiate a genuine shop from an imitator shop, but it's kind of just a nice detail to have in there.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this for us. Joining us now via video is Printify's own brand lead, David. You can catch him in other tutorials we've done in the past on how to build your brand, and he's taken a look at DesignMyPartyStudio on Etsy, which sells paper and party supplies. Thanks for doing this for us, David.
Hi, Talish. Wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for asking me to do it. Really looking forward to reviewing some stores and helping some people out.
You spend a lot of time interviewing successful POD store owners about what they do well. Are you seeing any similar attributes in this shop?
Yeah, so a successful print-on-demand store there's not one single formula to it, but there are a few things that really are going to work. What this store does really well is it makes it abundantly clear immediately who these products are for, who they're selling to. In this case, just by looking, not by reading anything, but just by looking, you can see that this is aimed at parents with young children who have parties to throw. Then the other thing that you can see easily is a consistency of design, right? So this person is aiming at this audience and has decided to go for a certain kind of design. So you see this cursive text, there's pastel, like watercolor effects. There's a lot of white used. The illustrations that use the like children's books illustrations, they're not like modern graphic novel type illustrations. And it's consistent throughout. It's really, really difficult to find somewhere where it's not consistent. What this does is it tells the people who are coming to your store that you really know them and what they want, and you know that this works. The other thing I would say is there's a big variety, right? So we all know that typically your print on demand store will have 3 or 4, 5 or 6 if you're lucky products that sell consistently over and over again. If that's the case, why do you need to have 40, 50 products listed in your store? Well, the thing is, if you have 40 or 50, it creates the impression that you've got a lot of people coming to your store because, oh, look at all of these different things I must be selling. Even if those lots of people coming end up buying the same products again and again. So having that experience whereby you see a lot of stuff lets the buyer know that, you know, you're someone who caters to, you know, a large audience, and people like to buy stuff that they feel that other people buy. It's kind of a shallow human thing, but it's one of the things we do.
What's interesting here is that you're not buying anything physical. You get a design file and then you print it out yourself. How difficult is that to pull off on Etsy for a store like this?
I mean, I think that's one of the things that's going on in the modern world, Talish. Probably you and I are perhaps a little too old to understand as to why it happens like that. I don't think it's all that difficult to pull off as long as the quality of the artwork that you're getting is really good and it hits the audience that you want it to hit. And of course, the other thing this store does really well is it shows those images in real life situations. That's kind of a basic essential of marketing in general. Show your product being used by real people in the real world. And all of the situations that you see in this store, like even though, you know, it's not always zoomed out all too far, but it's placed on a table, it's placed on a sweet jar, it's put in the hand of someone. So you can see, oh, like, when Johnny comes over with his kids and I hand him the stuff, it's going to look like this. Like that's a key thing to do, I think.
From a marketing and branding perspective, why do you think this store is in a top spot on Etsy's top seller list?
I would say that it's at the top of the Etsy list for a couple of reasons. I'm repeating myself here, but they really know who they're selling to, right? Also, it's one thing I would say is that there are discounts, right, across a lot of things. And these discounts are prominently displayed. It gives you that feeling of, oh, I've got here at just the right time. I'm going to be able to get some money off of that. So clearly the person who owns this store is using that to their advantage and using it well. People like quality, right? So that's one of the reasons it's going to come out towards the top.
Thanks for doing this for us, David. AcornandCrowStudio describes its products as sarcastic, witchy vibes, and with a bio like that, we just had to take a look at this Etsy top shop. And to help me do that, I've enlisted the help of Printify's digital marketing specialist, Arturs. And you ready to do this, buddy?
Of course, Talish, let's do this.
So before we get to the sarcastic, witchy vibes, the first thing that grabs your attention on this store is this massive banner up top, right?
Yeah, that's correct, Talish. Like, I really love how banner shows the working hours of the store. It kind of informs like the client of the store already, like when he can contact and when he can expect the answer. I think it's really great. In general, yeah, the banner is awesome.
So for a store that has 250,000 sales so far, what do you think is helping this shop drive those sales?
To be honest, I think it's the distinctive designs of the particular merchant. You can see that like in search results, they really must stand out. Like they have this distinctive design. They are very like constant about the design, and I think it's driving the sales.
You do get the sense that the designs and the audience for this store are very particular, don't you?
Yeah, that's correct. I really love the niche approach. I really love that this particular merchant is not trying to please everyone, but they have picked like super niche products, super niche, and they're just doing it, you know, their own thing.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this, buddy.
Thank you.
Let's turn things over to an actual Etsy store owner with over 500,000 sales so far. Cassiy Johnson is an entrepreneur, fellow YouTuber, and obviously an Etsy specialist. She's taking a look at the wedding and bridal store ModParty and is joining us via video call. Hey, Cassiy.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to go ahead and take a look at ModParty.
How well does this page let customers know who and what these products are for?
ModParty does an amazing job of branding themselves as the authority on Etsy for bridal and bachelorette party items. You can tell from the second you walk in that that is what they specialize in.
What's something ModParty has incorporated into their store or products that they do really well?
When looking at ModParty, the very first thing that caught my eye was their product photos. They do absolutely amazing pictures for all of their products. The lighting is amazing, the staging is amazing, and it really just is so important to have beautiful thumbnails for your images, because that's what people are shopping on Etsy. They're not looking at your title or the price. The first thing they look at is the picture, and ModParty just does this amazing.
Is there something that made this store stand out to you compared to other wedding stores?
The thing that I really think sets ModParty apart from all of the other bridal stores on Etsy is the amount of different types of items that they offer. They really have positioned themselves to always be in demand, whether it's a bridesmaid proposal, bachelorette party shirts, or gifts to give a new bride. They really have made sure that they're in all of the really top selling item markets on Etsy. So that's going to give them a much better chance of getting found and getting sales consistently throughout the entire year. And the other thing is the personalization. So it's a lot of work to offer personalized items. This is one of the huge things that people really come to Etsy for. You can't get that in any other stores that you can go to in person, and Etsy has become the go-to place for personalized items, and ModParty is definitely the go-to place so far for personalized items for bridal stuff, but you can definitely kind of copy the same thing and do personalized items as well in your store.
Well, thanks so much for doing this for us, Cassiy. We really appreciate it. If printable vintage art is a top seller on Etsy, then NorthPrints has something to do with it. Understanding why is going to take some expert help, which is where Martin comes in. Whether you know him from our tutorials or our webinars, Martin specializes in merchant success here at Printify. Thanks for doing this for us, Martin.
Thanks for having me.
So as someone who deals a lot with guiding new stores to finding success, what was your first impression of this shop?
Well, first of all, I love the banner. It's beautiful, it's eye-catching, and it hits you right in the face as you land on the storefront. And without scrolling down, I can tell a lot about what's going on with this business. I can tell the sales that they're having, I can see that they're a 5-star Etsy seller, and I can see that they have a lot of reviews, and a lot of those reviews are positive. So I know they've been selling for a while, and I can trust that if I order something from them, it's actually going to be delivered.
Much like an actual art gallery, these items almost look like they're curated to sell, don't they?
That's right. The mock-up images look like they've been professionally done. Whether they were or not, it doesn't matter. It looks like they have been. So that's going to lead to a lot of conversions for the merchant themselves. And also, the product descriptions are very comprehensive. They answer a lot of questions that a potential customer might have, and they include a lot of keywords that are going to rank high in the Etsy search algorithm. And plus, again, the positive customer reviews are always nice. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's that very comprehensive, very fully built out frequently asked questions section that I can go to as a customer and get a familiarity with what to expect from this particular merchant.
So it sounds like they're pretty great across the board, but based on what you do, is there room for improvement in this shop?
Yes, there is. First of all, I don't know anything about Karen, who says she's the owner and proprietor of this storefront. There's nothing in the description telling me anything about her story, and on Etsy, that's something potential customers can really identify with. And I don't see anything like that. In fact, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure that this is a real person. It could be an avatar that somebody set up just to sell. So a little bit of Karen's backstory would be helpful. Okay. And also in the product descriptions themselves, although quite comprehensive and they tell you a lot about what to expect about this product, I don't hear anything about the story. No one's telling me exactly how buying this particular product is going to benefit my life in any way. So a little bit of a colorful story, a little bit of some language about how my life would be better if I did buy this particular product would do a lot to resonate with customers and add to a lot of conversion.
Martin, thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Whether it's the right photos, niche, trend, or design, each store has a bit of everything. So if you have the next great idea that you think can sell big on Etsy, you don't need to look far to know exactly what you have to do. But how about starting by liking this video and subscribing to Printify? Let us know in the comments which of these stores inspired you the most, and check out their profiles in our description if you want to learn more.